Where don't you mind waiting?
Where I don't mind waiting.
Yeah.
I don't mind waiting in a place like this.
Okay.
Yeah, like so right now I'm feeling a lot of breeze. I connect most with water.
With water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is also why I like your choice of the venue.
Oh.
Yeah.
How much influence do our childhood experiences have on our adult personalities and behavior?
Like all of it.
Okay.
Okay, almost all of it, because you still have your experiences as an adult. What I'm simply saying is, as a child, your brain is very impressionable. People can implant anything in your mind.
Don't you give in, get up, push on. You give in to the pressure, gotta stay strong. Every setback is a lesson, that's where I belong. Push through the pain, turn struggle into song. Every challenge overcome, another chance prolong. Get up, brush off the dirt and carry on, Tom. In this life of chaos, find peace in the storm. You was born to fight through the dust till the dawn. No surrender, no retreat till your purpose is drawn. Yes, this life is a struggle, we all stuck in denial. Ignoring the essentials, focusing on material. Forgetting the supernatural. Taking things on their hands, no wonder they all fall. I know, this life ain't easy, I know. It can get crazy, I know, and turn out messy, I know. Just take it easy, cause you're born to endure. You'll win this for sure, for the scar we will cure. This testament is pure. This love is a struggle. We stumble, stand up and we push.
What obstacles and limitations are preventing our generation from reaching our full potential as a collective?
What obstacles or things
And limitations.
and limitations are preventing our generation from reaching
Our
the
full
full
potential.
potential as a
Yeah.
collective? So this emphasis on as a collective. I want to make reference to like recent happenings, political, of course. The Gen Z protests, to be specific. I don't know if you're comfortable talking about that.
No,
All right.
speak your truth. Yeah. But thank you for confirming that.
Okay.
I respect that also.
Yeah, you know, I
Yeah.
have to confirm.
Yeah.
Because it's your show, and the information that we discuss here would reflect on the show. Yeah. So it has to be within your values or within what you're trying to do with this. It was a collective thing. Everyone everywhere was shouting the same message. Whatever that message was, everyone was resonating with it. It was a collective consciousness. It reached a point where everyone was feeling the same pain. Everyone was alive to the fact that we are all experiencing the same problems. Everyone came alive to the fact that our political choices at the ballot as an electorate, literally, directly, not even indirect, directly impact our day-to-day lives, education, healthcare, what you'll eat, your food, everything. Even if you can go out, how you'll relate with your neighbors. Yeah, some of these people just, create clashes they create artificial divides. And that's why people came out to say they are tribeless, they're partyless. Those social constructs that divide people. It's hard to take a collective consciousness for people to, everyone. It may not have been everyone, but well, it's heading towards there. It's a storm. But a collective had one understanding, had one message. They had one mind. Let me just say they had one mind. Yeah. So a collective consciousness. They agreed, they decided based on their lived experiences. We all experience these things and we know what's coming. So in that sense, like, what's preventing our generation from reaching its full potential as a collective? One is our leaders.
Okay. Yeah.
And our leaders are just the best versions of us, in the worst possible way or in the best possible way. They're just us. The next person is a reflection of yourself. and so are our leaders. I think whatever it is they're doing, it's what any other Kenyan is capable of. Any other Kenyan is capable of being corrupted like that, or falling and being prey and subject to the trappings of power and that kind of money. You know, it's serious money, very serious money. Any person could fall under that trapping. I think it takes some kind of emotional intelligence to, these things affect other people. People don't have. There's a saying that goes around. It's not a saying. It's just it's a common thing. It's cliche, but that's what we do. Senior Kenya, like that's just what we do. I mean, accepting things as they are. You don't have to. In as much as acceptance is it's a great quality. It's a very high vibrational quality. It's high. You have acceptance there. You have forgiveness there. You have love on top of all that. Down here, you have hate. You have anger. You have despising other people. Comparisons. Like you just know the lower quality vibrations and the higher quality vibrations. Acceptance is like the middle ground. So you accept and then you stay there, or you accept and do something about it. I think we accepted and we just decided that's what it is. That's the status quo. So I think it's going to take a collective. It's going to take a bit more work. This is an analogy. This, of course, is translatable and transferable to many other facets of life, not just like our political well-being, just our political circumstance, which, of course, informs has a direct impact on every other aspect of life. So it's like a nexus. So that collective, it has to start with a person. So I think people have to do the inner work. People are focusing so much on the outer world, they forget, the inner world. So power, money, fame, people wanting to be famous and doing everything and anything to be famous. Yeah, which perpetuates a lot of evil and immorality. That's subjective. It's not a general term. I'm just saying, if people also focused inwards, like your internal well-being, so your mental health, that's your internal well-being. You have to be right inside. You have to be right in your mind. You have to help yourself before you can help another person. A blind person cannot lead another blind person. We'll all go into the sea and drown. So I think everyone has to do the internal work. It has to start with you and then extend to the next person. Yeah. So when you work, you'll find when you work on yourself, there's another person working on themselves, and you connect. You don't even know how you connected, but you just find yourselves in the same rooms, in the same situations. You just bump into each other. You find commonalities, common ground. You start sharing ideas, and you become strong in your resolve to do something. And with time, that number grows. A lot more people are doing the same thing, and you find that when people are doing it, you just raise the vibration of I don't say place, because it's not one place. A person can be in the other end of the country and another one in the other end of the country. But when you do the inner work, there's no time difference, there's no space difference. Like the spatial and the time domains. I'm right here with you right now at this specific time and in this specific place. We are connected. When you're doing inner work, time and space kind of don't exist. It's like when you are in your fantasy world, when you're dreaming, there's the lapse of time and the space isn't really there. Look at it this way: the internet. Today, if I wanted to meet with you, not physically, maybe virtually, we could meet at the same time, but not the same place. Yeah. Or it could be at different times, but you're still meeting at that moment, right?
Yeah.
So at that higher level, think of that internal work as that higher level. You are connected. You're even closer. It brings you closer. And it's easier to reach other people. you may not reach to them directly, but they'll pick up that collective. When it's being worked on as a collective, people doing it individually and they share in the idea, in the ideology, it becomes a collective consciousness. That's how movements are made. That's how the movement came about. And other people came across it. People didn't even know they came across it. They just saw it, just came across their feed, just came across. Of course, algorithms. You'd say algorithms, right? That recommend it for a timeline. But either way, that algorithm, it had to, maybe that algorithm was a means to an end. It's a tool, nonetheless. It had to be done. Like when there's a collective consciousness, it will reach the ends of the earth. It doesn't matter, and it's internal work. If each person worked on themselves internally, the world will be a much better place.
Yeah.
So if everybody worked on their mental health, if everybody's mind was right, you don't wish harm on the other person. Of course, you can't say you will end crime and you'll end the bad happenings in life. There has to be a balance, but the good always comes out on top. Yeah. So it's a cycle. The bad times and then the good times come, and then the bad times. It's a balance.
Yeah.
So I guess we are going back to an era of more people are awakening to the fact that the political situation is actually contributing to our life, our lifestyle, our low standard of living, the problems you're facing as a country, shitty healthcare. I don't say shitty education. Education is education, but people are taking advantage of the system. Yeah. So each person needs to do their internal work and before reaching out to the collective. But either if you do the internal work, you are already connected to the other people doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
In a
read
way you
somewhere
can't explain.
we should stop. We should stop. But like earlier, I used to think of changing the world, but when I became wise, I started changing myself. Like at the moment you just change you, like be trustworthy. Trust me, you will reflect that energy because you might think like aspect of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might think that I'm forgiving you, I'm doing it for you, but paradoxically, you're doing it for yourself.
For yourself.
Exactly. And that is like if we view life from that aspect, like just do things, like change yourself. At the moment you do that, you are the world. We are a lot of realities, but universe, you are the world of your own. So just change yourself. And people like sometimes whether I do see conversations, even comment sections, whereby someone maybe comment something negative, then akipewa response something positive, like it kind of changes everything. Like those people apologizes, they apologize.
They feel it. They realize that it was just the insecurity.
Exactly.
They're projecting.
They were projecting. But when you retort back now, they now gas up. They retort again. And that is now the world full of chaos. But if you change yourself and just understand that it's not up to them, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Things intertwine. Yeah.
Change. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Exactly.
It's cliche, I know, but it works.
Yeah.
And it's very true. In the previous podcast, I mentioned something like if I see a problem out there that I would want solved, instead of like why don't they solve this? Why don't they do that? What can I do first? I mean, do I have the capacity to do this? In my small capacity, can I make a difference? So I try to solve it first to my capacity. Somebody else might pick up from there or might join you. Someone has to do it. Yeah. It has to start with you in the first place. You also said the world is in you.
Yeah.
People project. You project the world.
Yeah.
It's inside you. You project. You just project it. So in this interaction, the world exists here right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm projecting mine. You're projecting yours, and we are reflecting upon each other. So and then we have the whole matrix. Everyone is projecting their world. The plants are projecting theirs. Everything is alive, and everything is very much living. Yeah. I also had to unlearn okay, this is contradictory.
It's okay.
Science and philosophy. But I think philosophy is just an evolved form of science, because science is trying to explain some things that philosophy figured out a long time ago. Things our ancestors used to do is what science is trying to figure out right now. When our ancestors in Uganda used to do open head surgery with no tools, with no isoma, they do it and they fix you, and they just use the plants, and you heal, and they put you back together. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah,
There's a clip.
Yeah, Kikuyus have heard of blood outlet.
Yeah.
You've heard of that one also?
Blood outlet. How about that one?
Like maybe they just cut.
Oh.
They cut, but yeah, but this is something like even like before the aspect of temperaments came in between. Like earlier, they used to believe like when you are nose bleeding, you have a lot of blood in your body.
Yeah.
When you have mucus or running nose, you have a lot of water in your body.
Yeah.
So they will just try to create those two outlets. So for some diseases, even headache, maybe they will cut you. Yeah, but it was shady, that one. That one
I know.
was.
It might have looked crude, but it worked for them.
For them, yeah.
They didn't have any X-ray.
Yeah.
They didn't have MRI. They didn't have a way to look inside the body, but somehow they knew what's in the body. So science is catching up. It's trying to explain things that are already there, and this knowledge was there. These people had that knowledge. So science is just coming about, maybe having a structure for it, making it, the knowledge was chaos. It has to come from chaos. They just knew things. There was no structure, but they knew this is this and this causes this. They knew this plant does this. This treats this. Penicillin, it comes from a plant. A lot of drugs come from plants. So the drugs are just refined, but the plant is like the raw form of it. So the source is just the same place.
Yeah.
So science, I remember primary, living and non-living things. Yeah. This stick, I don't know if this stick is a living thing. Plants are living things according to that science, right?
Yeah.
But this stone, the concrete,
it is considered as a non-living thing.
Yeah, let's just say this card is considered as a non-living thing. This paper. Of course, it's not breathing, because our definition was if it breathes, it
locomotes.
It locomotes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but coming from a philosophy point of view, everything is actually alive and everything is connected. It is. Our body is literally made up 70% of water. But if I cut here, water won't flow, but it's made up of water. So where is the water? Water is in the blood, water is in the cells. These nails have water. If I burn them, smoke will come out. This smoke, if you put it in a chamber, it will produce some humidity.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is alive and they come from one thing. You'll find water in almost everything. Even this rock, if you just crush it enough and burn it, water will come out of it. Everything is just alive and connected. So from philosophy, that point where they say doing the internal work, you are reaching inside a place where it's not physical and it's not the things you see like here.
It's fourth dimension.
Yeah, kind of. So you could say fourth dimension.
Yeah.
In that, and you could also say that's where everything else comes from. That's why people say you project the world. It's not the other way around. You project it literally. So yeah, I think everything is alive. This rock may very much be alive. It's just now from a scientific perspective, also science just tries to explain what's there. So most scientists were actually philosophers. So they were using science to try to explain the forms and the nature of the universe in a way that is not, at that time people were set in their ways, people had their beliefs, and any other alternative belief could come off as radical and contradictory, and people don't, the truth is in the diversity. Like the truth is in everything different has an aspect of the truth. Science also just tries to explain what's there. It's not creating the laws, it's not creating gravity, it's trying to define what's already there. If I drop this and it falls, they say gravity, it's already there. It existed before even someone discovered it or
even gave it a name.
So yeah, science is just trying to define that. So you've heard of quantum physics, quantum entanglement. where in that field, everything is connected. When you change something here, it could change something at the other end of the world instantly, because they're connected. Yeah. So in that field, they're connected. So this stone might very well be connected to you. Everything is alive. Yeah, everything is alive.
Yeah.
Because they come from one source.
Yeah. We are all one. We are part of something big.
Something bigger.
Yeah,
The universe is like
bigger.
one big organism.
Yeah.
And everything is just a small part of it.
Yeah, thank you for that, Ashton. If you think about your future self, what new memories are you looking forward to making?
If there's one thing I'm usually afraid of, is that my future self, because it comes with a lot of uncertainty and things that are unknown. But that's just fear. Yeah. And also on the other end of that fear is just that thing you actually want. So I will repeat that question again now.
Well, if you think about your future self, what new memories are you looking forward to making?
Looking forward to my future self. I'd first, if I'm already there, let me speak from there now.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm that future self. I'd look back and I'd want to live in the moment more. Yeah. So I'd want my memories at that time to be in the moment. I'd want my experiences to be in the moment, not defined and thoroughly planned to the last dot. No. They have to be planned, of course. This was planned. But the conversation right now, it wasn't planned. It's in the moment.
It is in the moment.
Yeah. We are creating it in the moment. And the information is coming out in the moment. I'd want most of my memories and experiences to be in the moment, coming from the moment. More spontaneity than, plan and ruthless structure. Of course, it works. You need to do that up to some extent. The rest of it is intuition, the gut feeling, the inner voice that tell you. If you listen to some of these guys like Jeff Bezos, I think you know him, right?
Yeah.
This guy of Amazon and Elon Musk, those people, they shall tell you the best decisions they've made wasn't made in a boardroom, or it wasn't based out of logic. It was pure intuition, the gut feeling, like this is right, I need to do this, I need to take this direction. Pure intuition. And then they planned it and structured it and made it work. Like it had to come from somewhere before now you plan how you're going to execute and everything else. It was intuition, gut feeling, that inner voice that people, shut down, which you actually need to listen to more. Sometimes it whispers terrible things and tells you to do things that are not good, but it's still you. You have your good side and your bad side. So you just need to observe it and know that it actually tells you what you need to hear. So more memories as well. I'd like to connect more with people who are as self-aware, who share in the same energy, the same ideologies. Previously, I haven't met a lot of people who have shared the same ideology. I think I may have probably thought maybe I'm alone in this. I'm running mad. Like, do really people really think this way, or it's just me? Do people feel this way? Do people find this interesting, or find this as truth for them, or it's just me alone? I'd want to connect with people more people like that, and I think I'm starting to. I think when you take a path, you start meeting the right people.
Yeah. Universe just has a way.
The right people you need to take that path. You come across exactly. Other field, not other fields. Other people would call them destiny helpers. Just people you come across in your life that are supposed to help you take the next step. Help you in the path to the next step, and then you'll meet someone else who will take you to the next path, or to the next step in the path. I'd want to meet those people more, and I'd want to know them when I see them. So there's a level of knowing a person is right for you when you see them, and there's that aspect where you have to actually spend some time with them to know them, to know if they're right for you. I think when you've trusted yourself enough, when you've taken enough leaps of faith, when you've just done more things out of intuition, it will just tell you, no, you see that guy over there? You need to talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
and
also you like naturally you just create an environment for them just to showcase.
yeah,
Like yani you might give them that environment for like for kuna those cases you'll just meet with someone and trust me Adi, you talking about maybe a certain book wasn't in the scope. That was the last place maybe you could have that conversation, but naturally you just start talking about that. So I feel like sometimes fear universe has a way of you also as an individual being aware can put people in a situation whereby they will just express themselves in a way that maybe you needed it earlier for maybe to facilitate or to cut them off. Like
yeah.
it will give you those situations.
Yeah, I think it also gives you opportunities to, outgrow other relationships and other people.
Yeah.
Not because they're necessarily bad for you, but they're not gonna get to the next step. And it's okay. They need to take a different path as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So at some point,
it's okay
you
to
may
diverge.
also converge again later.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is. People hold on too much to things. In my future self, I'd like more memories where I don't hold on to things, like let things flow. The ones that are meant to happen are going to happen anyways, and the ones that are not meant to will not. But not just throwing caution to the wind, being very mindful of that. Yeah, just having that like inform what you do. If there's really so much resistance, maybe you need to let it go, right? If it's really causing you so much pain, maybe you need to let it go. For your mental health, maybe for your internal well-being, or either way, it's what you need to do to get to the next
and I feel like
level.
for you to be, I feel like, and you've put it well, that is, I feel too, it is just the aspect of abundance, viewing the world from a point of abundance. I feel like with that now, you just believe many more are yet to come. And it is okay for you like not to feel that, so yeah, you'll be able to let some things go, because even relationship wise, trust me, like I feel like it is only scarcity mindset for you to be unable to differentiate like if this thing is toxic or because kuna form of patience, like it is okay to be patient with people, but kuna place you should be when you are being patient with people. Like you don't have to be there monitoring like any, doing the follow-up of them,
or you need to trust them enough with what they need to do for you, ama what just they need to do. You need to trust them enough with that. They might spoil it, ama they might fuck it up. It's okay. They need to do it still. They need to make that mistake for themselves.
And you really like genuinely, like you have to be okay with or without it genuinely. I feel like with that now, I feel that things too will just fall into place. Sometimes letting go, it is the answer. So it is a hard thing
now,
or even change.
Do you realize letting go is a form of acceptance? You've accepted.
You've accepted it.
It's a powerful quality. It's a powerful emotion. It's the turning point from all that baggage, acceptance, and then you start healing. So you realize you have to accept stuff first. So you need acceptance. So once you understand, you accept. So you don't just accept, you understand, and you accept.
Because it is easy to confuse letting go and giving up.
I know, right? There's a very thin line.
There is a thin line, and it is a difficult thing sometimes to do.
You might even second guess yourself. Do you really make the right decision?
Am I giving up, or am I letting go? Like,
or am I
what am I
go?
doing here?
But
and I feel like it goes to a certain level of consciousness. When you are in that state, I feel like now that line will broaden kidogo. You'll just be able to tell to like, this thing is not serving anymore. It's not serving me anymore. It is controlling me.
So you need the wisdom to understand. The wisdom to walk away, the courage to walk away. Just walking away from it. Because you've accepted it's not going to work right now. You need to do something else probably.
Otherwise, how much influence do our childhood experiences have on our adult personalities and behavior?
Like all of it.
Okay.
Okay, almost all of it, because you still have your experiences as an adult. like your experiences now that define your next experience. But childhood, I'd say I can't give a number because I haven't done that research, but a great deal of your childhood influences your adult life or your daily experiences, like going forward. For this reason, a child, the first day you go to school, you don't know nothing about science, you don't know nothing about math, you don't know. Maybe you've been homeschooled a bit before you went, or you have sisters and older siblings, brothers. You saw them doing their homework and stuff, and you know, you went there with a little bit of
Yeah,
thanks,
cheers.
cheers,
Cheers.
with a little bit of an idea on there's math, there's English, there's science. You know, as a kid. Point being, as a child, like that's your formative years. I know that as a child, your brain is blank. Not that you don't know anything, but you don't have many programs in your head. That's why you need to go to school in the first place.
Yeah.
You need to go and learn. Most people take their kids to school, you know, to learn the rote system of learning. You go and they pump in a lot of information in your head. They don't give you time for play. They don't give you a lot of time for, you know, the things they term insignificant, the extracurriculars. The kid just going out to play in the mud, or the kid just going out to play with the sand, kujichafua tu, like people see it as a bad thing. It really is not. We grow up thinking that is a very bad thing. You know, it's dirty. Kutembea na mguu tupu. Hata mtu atembee mguu tupu. Like putting shoes on a kid is actually harmful to them in the long term. Like they need to really connect with the ground. It's their development phase, and when you cut off that connection to the ground, of course, you cut off very many things by extension. What I'm simply saying is, as a child, your brain is very impressionable. People can implant anything in your mind. In the education system, you take everything as true. Even when, as an adult, you come to unlearn some of those things. But as a child, you came to accept them as true. You don't differentiate. Anything you are given, any information you are given, you take in as a child. So it can be good information, it can be bad information, it can be misleading information, or it can be information too. Yeah, it's supposed to inform you in ways that are good or bad. That imparts programs into your mind, and these programs are what turns into your habits. These programs are what turns into your beliefs. I particularly use programs because I'm a programmer. I do programs, so I know when you program something, that's it. It's going to operate like this program. A child is just the same. A human being, you're just a set of programs other than the body. So your beliefs, your habits, they all influence your lived experience as an adult or as you grow. You know, certain things as true, certain things as not true. Your religion, the religion you subscribe to. Most people, you're born into it. You didn't even choose it. Not that it's bad, but you didn't choose where to be born, right? But you are born into this. You're born Muslim, you'll be Muslim. You're born into a very religious Christian home, you'll adhere to that.
Yeah.
It will influence the way you'll do things going forward into your adulthood. It will influence your value systems, your beliefs, your habits, what you do when you wake up, what you do when you go to sleep, information and content you consume. I mean, your hobbies. So, yeah, it plays a very big role. Yeah, and I realized that from my childhood as well. So, I'm also trying to unlearn a lot of stuff that. Let me take this.
Okay. Yeah, for today's it's you don't have to tell me it's sweet.
Banana
I know.
and
But no, you tell me.
let's see.
You tell me. But for today it's sweeter than the other one. Or or you forgotten?
I didn't have one the other one.
Oh,
The other time there was this one.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
It was a bit spontaneous, so
Yeah.
so pretty much that's what I think about that question.
Mm.
I don't know. What about you?
Okay, before that,
Yeah.
like before I will answer that, but I was thinking, have you ever imagined yourself as a parent?
As a parent,
Yeah, and
um,
maybe how you will raise your kids.
I haven't really given it much thought.
You haven't? Oh.
Yeah, I still think of myself as a child.
Mhm.
I've not really put myself in those shoes of raising somebody
Someone
else. Yeah.
else.
So I think I'm still raising myself.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe if you find time, kuna this sitcom I've been watching. It goes by the name My Wife and Kids.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like yani, I feel like if I was to, I know it is a movie, but it is, I guess it can be a benchmark for raising a kid or maybe bringing up a family, because the way I will just go to that one. But you had asked me maybe my opinion on that.
Yeah.
For me, I will also say that maybe see the fact that when we are born, maybe from our maybe up to 6 years old, yeah, from in between that, like I feel like this is a point in life where we just consume, consume,
Yeah.
and what we consume is what we kind of conform to or we are morphed to.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like maybe it can, the way you've said, it can be bad or good, but still it is an information.
Still information.
Yeah,
Still.
and it brings the rationality aspect of the way we approach things. So I feel like this is the primary time that this is the basis of ourselves, and sometimes we do get a lot of pressure. This is something I was talking to someone, like this, like this is years, like for us in Kenya,
Yeah.
like, or maybe many other countries, the people who are surviving from maybe the people who are under the cycle of survival mode,
Yeah.
like the way we've been raised, like us, we are being given information, and maybe we are being directed to, or we conform until maybe we are like 18 years old before maybe we join to campus.
Yeah.
And then now when we join campus, this is when we are now given that chance of maybe being able to discern what is truth and what is not, being able to become self-aware, being able to develop ourselves. And trust me, we've been bombarded with information for 18 good years.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are left with like 4 years of finding ourselves and also knowing ourselves, and also navigating in campus, trying to fit in, trying to conform. I guess this aspect of culture shock is where in a come around this time, because this time is the first time you are being left alone now to make decision on your own. So for us, like this childhood experiences yetu huwa ina range from year 1 to 18 years. So this is really a big time. Unapata the way we've been raised is maybe we are going to project it in different way, and maybe by the time we are going to become ourselves, inakuwa so threatening to our parents, because like this is not who you are, like aukwangi hivi, like this is a new thing. So unapata hadi tunawashtua. So like yeah, yetu inakwanga for long for 18 years, and it really has a big impact on our life and the way we approach life. Because for me personally, one of those things that maybe I might think I have healed from, but I haven't. And maybe you sitting with me, you can see them, and I can't tell them, and I don't maybe see it as a problem, or maybe sometimes it is a positive thing, but it is where I'm rooting from. I might think it's about the information I consumed yesterday, but no, I'm approaching that information fully based on how I was raised.
Yeah.
It is not about the information I consumed yesterday, but it is, I'm just projecting how I was raised towards that information. So it really plays a big role. And yeah, and like just knowing that, I feel like me, I've never imagined myself as a parent, but after starting to watch that movie, now I came to think of, yeah, kuna those things that I really need to work on even before I bring people to the world, because you really need to fix those things, ni avoid the same cycle, because kuna those which have been very disadvantageous, especially maybe approaching risk. Yeah, the way, like, where I'm coming from, failure is not just an experience, failure is failure, so, and like it really takes a lot of courage maybe sometimes to approach a risk, because that risk, it's like it won't be a failure on your side, because you're going to disappoint many people. As much as maybe you might not because I'm a positive person, I'll just see it as an experience, and I will look for a better way to approach it next time. but the people I'm going to disappoint can make me to reconsider sometimes. Yeah.
What you said right there is it's profound.
Yeah.
It's very profound in very many ways. But baseline or bottom line, the information that's put in you, that's what you project.
That is what we project.
It's good or bad, right or wrong. You're not given the chance at the start to decide whether it's good or wrong or it's right for you. You're given the information, take it. Like, I'm your parent, I know what's best for you. Take this information and do things this way. So you do things that way until you're older. You're thrown into campus, college, or your young adult life.
Yeah.
And now you actually start doing things the way you want to do them. The way your self-expression comes out is how you actually wanted to in the first place. And then your parents may find it now strange or weird, or like, this is not you. Where did you learn some stuff? How to do stuff? Some beliefs that you have as well.
Yeah.
They might be very shocking to them.
Yeah.
And
you may conform, or maybe now what is termed as rebellion. And sometimes it's not the case. You're just embracing yourself.
I know. So they label it many things, but what they don't talk about is it's there, it exists, and it's just you expressing yourself in your authentic version.
You're just trying to be honest.
Yeah. Like, this is literally how you feel, and this is how you want to express yourself. And I think artists, people who make creative work, songs, music, paintings, drawings, anything creative, even coding, or just creating something for yourself. It stems from a place of creativity, and that place is not. It's not like a straight path. Somebody said that the best works of art come from chaos, and uncertainty, and that is the best God expression, the best self-expression. So you'll find somebody was in a zone, and that's when they came up with the best work of art. They weren't told that you do this way and you do this that way. The best works have been produced from chaos. Light bulb moments when you're in the shower or something. It wasn't when you were in class studying Charles Darwin, or theorizing, or just, it wasn't when getting education. It was in your creative moment. That's when that work of art came out. People ignore that, and no school teaches you that either. So I think that is where ulimwengu inakufunza. Yeah, you learn right and wrong from observing and from your own experiences. Yeah. So you know what's right for you and what's wrong for you.
Yeah, thank you for that. That is well covered. So another question is, would you rather win the lottery or work at the perfect job, and why?
There's no perfect job.
There is no perfect job.
I don't think so. I think you make your work meaningful.
Yeah, but you can define your perfect job.
Oh yeah.
You can define that, okay?
So there's not like, this is the job that if you do, it's the perfect job for you. No.
Okay.
Whatever job you do, you make it the perfect job for you. You make it meaningful for you. You make it have value for you. So no, I'd rather win the lottery.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, invest that money in now my actual hobbies, or what I actually want to do, or what I want to create. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'd rather win the lottery and put it, instead of going to look for VCs, like VC funding and people to fund you and invest. You can invest in yourself. I mean, that's the best. That's the best thing the universe can send across your way. Okay, not the best thing, but that would really work out. Yeah. So perfect job. Whatever job I'll do, I'll make it the perfect job for me. Yeah, since it will be fulfilling to me. Yeah.
And like I feel like you've kinda changed my. There is a paradigm shift after you've mentioned that.
Yeah.
because like earlier, for me personally, I would go for a perfect job. That is what I would go for. But you bringing the aspect of entrepreneurship now, yeah, like like kuna hiyo paradigm shift in terms of like kuna this aspect, like sometimes kuna like I always, the main reason I was totally against that, because I was just thinking of this someone who maybe is getting that money when they're not ready for it.
Okay.
Yeah, lakini when you are ready for it,
Ah,
it's really worth it. It's really worth the lottery. But when you are not, now it's not worth it, because you'll just squander it, or maybe you might save it, or you'll just consume it. But then you might not like waste it, but you might use it without maybe multiplying it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You'll
that
just
is
be
possible.
spending it.
You might, yeah. This is when you are not ready. But when I'm ready in life, I will go for lottery. But when I'm not ready in life, maybe I'll just define a job that I really love. And this is what, like, me defining it, like,
Yeah.
this is what bring fulfillment. I could be the boss in it. I could be employed.
Yeah.
But to this is the perfect, as an individual, this is the
It
perfect
brings out the
job
best in you.
in you.
That's
Yeah,
your
yeah.
perfect job,
Job.
Manze.
Okay.
I also think what you said about what you said about you might win the lottery, but not do anything meaningful with it.
With it.
Actually, if you just take data, just look at people winning the jackpot, sport pesa, the betting activities. It doesn't matter. You won the lottery. Most of these people, that money doesn't change their life.
Yeah.
They spend it on their desires. They fund their desires. Yeah, that's when that thing you couldn't afford, that's when you want to buy it. Wrong move. Yeah, according to me. It's you are not prepared for it. You have, I think the wrong approach is you have money and now you want to look for what business to do with the money.
Yeah,
It's the same way. You have money, now you want to look for what business to do with the money.
Instead of maybe you have the job, now you are
Yeah.
looking for capital. These are two different things.
Two different things. Now you have something in the works. You are in the job. Maybe you identified a problem and you want to solve that problem. Maybe you started off talking to some people. There's a problem here that may be solved with this and this and this. And now somebody comes to you and says, I have actually been thinking the same thing, but I can't implement it. You look like someone who can implement. You are ready. I can give you the money. And we are shareholders. We become co-founders, right? You are ready for the money. It's the same way with the lottery. It's just like winning a lottery. It comes at a time when you're either prepared or not. Yeah. So it may be the thing that spoils it for you, or it may be the thing that actually changes and turns your life around.
Yeah.
Sometimes the universe just tests you. Maybe you've been wanting that money for the whole of your life. You want nikipata 10M. Akiwa lie, naweza fanya stuff. And then you get the 10M, a lottery, out of the blues. Or you go work for someone who's wealthy as hell and they pass on and they put you in their will. I mean, the lottery can be in many different ways, not necessarily betting. The universe might just be testing you with that thing that you want. Now what will you do with it? Now you might crumble under the weight of that same desire you wanted, or you might flourish based on how prepared you are. Yeah. So the universe is also quite interesting in orchestrating things.
Yeah. And it goes back to preparation. How prepared are you? Because I've seen opportunities. I've seen like even musicians, like others, they get to do maybe with their one song and they get a lot of attention. But now for some reason, like they flourishes. And like when someone argues that it was like they were not prepared for that success, it is not making sense, because ni kama they climbed the ladder to hapo. But generally speaking, yeah, talent will take you to places character won't sustain. So it goes back to preparation. So you can get the best, even the best attention ever, but if you're not prepared for it, even for that success, hey, trust me, it will all disappear within a second. Yeah, so it goes back. That is why I guess they define luck as when opportunity meet preparedness. Yeah, so when like you're just lucky when opportunity meet preparedness. But when opportunity meets you and you're not prepared, man, you are unlucky. You are
You are definitely unlucky.
Unlucky,
The
yeah.
opportunity is there, but you are unprepared.
Yeah, yeah.
You just fumble your way through it. You'll fumble it. Utai fumble.
Boom.
I think maybe there's a parting shot for that
Yeah.
question. Action produces information. So you want this thing terribly. You want this 10M to invest in your own startup. But you haven't even started the startup. And let's say you get the 10M, you want to do much with it. You probably direct it in the wrong places that it won't work. Now imagine if you're already working on it, you just believe in your idea and your vision. You don't know where the money will come from, but you're just working on your thing. That's action, right? You're acting, and it produces information. You learn this is going to work out this way, this won't work out this way.
This is what is needed.
Yeah.
This thing is not even necessary.
Yeah.
So
And chances are multiple failures, which you learn from, and you see what now to avoid. They're stepping stones. People are taught failure. If you fail, that's a very drastic thing. Elon Musk says failure is irrelevant unless it's fatal. Like, unless it takes your life or it destroys your life. Yeah, like an accident or, something fatal that you can't get out of. Yeah, you can't recover from. Otherwise, it's irrelevant. It's actually supposed to empower you. In fact, you need it.
Yeah.
In fact, if you just went through life without failing at anything, oh my God. The first time you will encounter failure, it will be drastic. So in a way, it sharpens you too. So action produces information. So as you go along, just acting. You don't even have to be acting on, you might be acting on the wrong thing, but it takes acting on it to know it's the wrong thing. And you can know like what to avoid, how to navigate. Now, if this money comes at a time when you're already acting, you have information, you can make informed decisions. So I think I'd use that analogy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Action produces
Information.
Yeah, action produces.
Inaction actually makes you depressed.
Inaction.
Yeah. So most people, usually, even myself, at a point I, not very depressed, but that time you're just uncertain about your future, about your life. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't acting. I was just worried, but I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't taking any action. So you not acting or doing anything is actually what makes you depressed. So if you just do anything, just take your mind off of it. It doesn't matter what you're doing. That action will produce information. That information will be valuable. So it's not the end goal. It's this process. It's this journey. It's going to produce information. You may not get there, but you may get another place instead. That's how companies pivot. They start off. Safaricom started off selling airtime. They are a telco, right? Right now they're in internet. What else are they getting into?
Services.
Yeah, fintech. They're in fintech. They're the biggest fintech, the biggest bank currently that we have. Everybody uses M-Pesa. They didn't know they'd get there. Action. They kept acting and they produced information. They kept working on the telco side of it, building the network that is today the Safaricom. I have a Safaricom line. You have a Safaricom line. Millions of people have Safaricom lines. That's their network. That produced information. You know what? We could use the same network to transfer money to and fro between people. They didn't start off with that as the vision, probably, or not.
Yeah.
But it led there.
So
I learn a lot from that.
Yeah. And like what you are saying, and also to anyone who is starting, also, like for believing, it's up to you. Like you just have to believe in it, even when you're not believing in it. And I feel like that is the aspect of influence. The way you are saying something like that, it's not how it is how you say it and how you believe in it.
Believe it. Doesn't matter what.
It doesn't matter
it's
what.
Not as relevant as how.
Yeah. And this is the aspect of now the influence. Like the way you'll talk about that glass and the way you believe in it, it is what will influence me, like will give me that. Even to the way maybe you put out your work out there, the consistency, even when things are not working out, you just showing up, you just showing me that you believe in it.
I love that.
That is
showing
how,
up.
just showing up.
You are not so confident at the time probably, or you don't even know what you're going to say. You're not sure. You don't know if this will work out, but you just show up anyway.
Just
It's
showing up.
action. It will produce information.
Very true.
You'll just figure it out, and you don't. Maybe you just had to show up. The rest of it is orchestrated, and you just follow the process.
Everything will fall into place, and it will happen unknowingly.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah, and you're right about that. Even what Safaricom is doing today, when they were starting, if maybe if they could have focused on that, they wouldn't even have started. But they did the smallest, they took like the smallest action possible. Maybe it was just selling airtime, the smallest action, and that is what like it compounded to something else and something bigger. And I'm sure the person who started it from wherever they are, when they look at the work,
that's a legacy.
it is beyond like
they contributed to building this.
Yeah,
that's a legacy.
Yeah, that is a legacy.
And I think everyone just aspires to leave something of themselves behind, knowingly or unknowingly. Yeah. So I think what you do in the end, looking back, connecting the dots, you're like, yeah, I really did achieve my purpose. I really did serve my purpose, what I was brought into this world to do. Yeah, and that gives a lot of people peace of mind. You don't see billionaires, working around the clock. They are just enjoying their life. They are now just valuing life. They're not just doing philanthropy, doing something impactful, not for profit, just to impact the lives of others. Well, like Safaricom, by the time it reaches there, now they're just opening, they have Safaricom Foundation, right? That's M-Pesa Foundation.
M-Pesa Foundation.
Yeah, that's helping out with, I don't talk much about M-Pesa Foundation or Safaricom, but the point is they went into CSR, like corporate social responsibility, giving back now. Yeah, giving back to your customers, to like literally everyone in Kenya is their customer. So it's also in their best interest.
Yeah. For anything to become passive, it needs a lot of activity in the beginning. And that activity is just motivated by you believing in it, then taking the action, and things will just fall into place and multiply, and you'll get ideas.
People forget about this law of momentum and inertia. Anything at rest remains at rest until acted upon. And anything in motion remains in motion until also acted upon by an opposite force that stops it. So just starting, you need to start. Yeah, you are at rest, you need to start. And then starting, acting, produces information. The momentum just maintains itself. If you start swinging a pendulum right now, it will just keep swinging, until somebody holds it. It runs its course until it comes back where it was supposed to be. Let me do an example. I don't know how much time this will take.
It's totally okay.
I'm kind of like into stones and crystals. Yeah, they have some good energy about them. That's why people find rounded stones at the beach. The water has really acted on them. They carry all the energy of the water, all the energy of the ocean or the sea or the river. That's why you see a lot of people who love beads, stones, jewels, crystals, like a pendulum. It was at rest, but it needs to move. So it needs some effort to move it. You need to. So unless I stop it, it runs its course until it stops. Everything is connected in that sense. This is just using a basic law of physics, or a basic law of physics. It's just an attempt to understand how the universe works. It's already working like that. We are just trying to understand it. It already exists. Everything follows this law. So anything in your life, as small as this or as big as the whole universe, they follow the same law. We are all subject to the same rules. They say we are in a matrix. Everything is bound by the same laws and the same principles.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, that is all for today, and yeah, very relaxing. Trust me. There is something about this environment. There
I
is
know.
something
You
about
should come here often.
often.
Yeah,
I will. I
you
will.
should
Now
come
I
here
know
often.
I will be confidently coming here oftenly. Yeah. So guys, thank you for your time, and Ashton also, thank you for the always showing up.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Thank you for
I
that.
also didn't know what I was gonna say. Even the questions were, I didn't know, like, am I really gonna say the right answers to these questions? But I
Being the
just opened my heart and
exactly.
said what I actually felt.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Being in the present was the answer.
yeah. Being in
Yeah.
the present, you could say that.
Was the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah. And sometimes we just need that. Yeah. When you listen to action, and then
it produces information.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for your never ending support. It is a wrap for now. See you on the next video. Thank you.
Cheers.